Co-founder of Sublime Trading. We specialize in helping high salary earners and CEOs get consistent returns in the stock market using a simple trend following strategy in just 60 minutes a week. Welcome to the live stream analysis. In today's video analysis, I'm going to cover the chart for Bitcoin and Ethereum because there have been some strong moves to the upside. So I want to take a deep dive into these cryptocurrency pairs. So going to switch to the full screen of the chart. If you look at my chart, you can see three screens. So the top left hand corner, we have the monthly time frame. In the top right hand corner, we have the weekly time frame, and in the chart along the bottom, this is the daily time frame. So this is where we trigger our positions. So let's first take a look at Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is showing signs of strength at the moment. If you recall, we had an all-time high back in November 2021 at 69,000, just on above $69,000, and from this high, price has declined by where price is now roughly around 73%. So price has moved down 73%. And it's been a very, very steep descent indeed. But what we can see at the moment is price is displaying signs of bullishness on the monthly time frame for January. So we may have formed a support base, where we see price start to form an uptrend resumption, so a resumption of the previous uptrend. So we'd have to take a closer look on the lower time frame just to see what's happening. But so far for January, price is looking strong, and if price does continue to climb, the next major level of resistance is the $20,000 rounds number. So this is a psychological area and resistance. So $20,000, price may find some reaction to this level, and this also coincides with this line here. This is what we call the monthly PIV9 level, and this is at around the $20,000 mark as well. And this level was formed from the high of December 2017. But so because we have two major levels of resistance above, we may see some problems for price to break through this point. But if we have a successful break above this level of resistance, it will then turn into support, and we should start to see strong moves to the upside. On the weekly time frame, the bars are grey. So when we have consistent red candles, it tells us that we are in a downtrend. When we have consistent green candles, tells us we are in a bull trend. And when we have some grey candles and also a mixture of green, grey, and red, tells us that we are either in a deep decline. So from this high that I mentioned on the monthly in November 2021, price has been forming a pattern of lower lows. You see the lows have been getting lower over time, and also lower highs. So the highs have been getting lower over time. So once we start to see a change in this pattern, so once we start to see a pattern of higher highs and higher lows, that will give us an indication that the previous down move has come to an end, and we're likely to see bullish moves going forward. So the first indication would be a breakout above a previous high. So in this case, based on this time frame, this high in question would be the high we want to see broken. So this is October 2022, and this is at a level of $21,537. So just above the $20,000 round number. So they're breaking close above this level, and we should see further moves to the upside. But remember, this is based on the weekly time frame. Once we go down to the daily, we may see other signs as well. But right now the bars are grey, and price appears to have leveled off from this low back in June 2022. So we haven't really seen some strong moves to the downside following this low. Instead, what happened here is price started to consolidate. Did have a strong move to the downside in November, but price has now come back into this previous area of consolidation. So let's look at this area a lot closer on the daily time frame, but also to note that price is below the 50 simple moving average and the 200 simple moving average. And by the way, if you have any questions during this live stream, feel free to type your questions in the chat box. I will be looking at that as I do the analysis. And also there's a link above, so follow us if you want to catch all of our live streams as soon as they become available. So hit the follow button at the top of your screen. And if you want to join our Telegram group where we have all these updates live, then hit the link below in our profile and you should be able to join straight into our group. So let's go down to the daily time frame now, and we can see that period a lot closer here. And remember what I mentioned on the weekly, when we see a mixture of trend filter colors similar to what we've seen since June 2022, it tells us that we are either in a deep correction or an area of consolidation. In this case, it's been an area of consolidation. So from this low, if I just draw in a rectangle just to highlight this area of consolidation. So from this low, price went on to consolidate from June 2022 all the way until November, well, still in consolidation, but we had a breakdown below support in November 2022. And then another area of consolidation was formed below the previous one. I'll just make this a different color so we can clearly see it. Let's make it green. So we can see there was an area of consolidation, and then price broke down below consolidation. This support then became resistance. Price started to move sideways, hit resistance, then continued in this area of consolidation. But now price has moved back out of this area of consolidation and up into the previous one. We can see price is now back into this previous one. So it hasn't really been able to gain much momentum to the downside prior to this area of consolidation. So we can see a strong move to the downside, long period of consolidation. Price hasn't been able to continue much lower, and now we may start to see moves back to the upside. So this is just early signs of potential strength in the crypto market. And one other thing I want to draw in is a trend line. If I just get the ray tool, and I'm going to draw a line from the high of August 2015, so 15th of August 2022, and the high of 5th of November 2022. And what we can see here is that price has now come up to make contact with this trend line. So this may act as resistance and force price back down. Also note that price is at this high, just around this high. So we have the trend line and a previous high acting as resistance. The price has now come right into this intersection, and we may start to see a decline in Bitcoin once again. So despite the fact that Bitcoin is up 6.3% this year, this may just be a strong push up before we see a decline. But remember, anything can happen in the market. And if this major level of resistance is broken, then that will be early signs of a potential bullish trend continuation. So break above this cluster of resistance, and then the $20,000 rounds number and the daily 200 simple moving average, and then Bitcoin should be on its way back towards the previous all-time high. But as for now, strong moves, yes, but it doesn't mean that Bitcoin is going to start a bull trend. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that we have seen a strong surge at the moment, like we did back in December last year, and then price then came back into consolidation. So we need to wait and see what happens next. It's best not to jump in too early, because if you jump in early, you end up being caught up in an area of consolidation which may last for several months and potentially much longer, up to a year or even longer. So you want to try and avoid that as much as possible and wait for confirmation on the monthly, weekly, and daily timeframes. If you are a day trader or a swing trader, you may opt to take positions a lot sooner because you're only trying to grab a few points from the market. But if you are a longer term investor, which is more profitable over time because you allow the ability to compound, if you're a longer term investor, then you want to wait for confirmation. As for now, Bitcoin is looking good, but not yet ready for taking positions. Okay, so we've had a look at Bitcoin. Now I'm going to have a look at Ethereum, because Ethereum does follow the trend of Bitcoin. And let's bring this chart up. So with Bitcoin, we had a bullish January, a much larger candle for January here. We've seen a bullish move. If I just measure how big this move has been, it's been a move of Right, it's over 16%. So Bitcoin is up 6.3%, but Ethereum is up 16% this year. On the weekly time frame, the bars are grey, so mixture of grey and red, indicating consolidation. And what's interesting is that price has now moved above the weekly 200 simple moving average. And if we go down to the daily time frame, the bars are currently green. Here we can see a nice strong up move, but price may just be coming into a squeeze. I'm going to draw in a trend line similar to what we did for Bitcoin. So I'm going to draw it from the high of August 14th, 2022 to the high of November 4th, 2022. So what we can see is prices actually moved above this trend line based on this chart. So unlike Bitcoin, Bitcoin came just to that point, but Ethereum has moved above. Well, yesterday moved above, and today we can see this reversal candle in play. This candle may change by the end of the trading day, but at the moment, or Ethereum and price. If I just draw a trend line below the from the support level, so first one would be from 18th of June 2022, and next one would be the 9th of November 2022. So price is coming into this squeeze. The tighter it comes, the bigger the move out we can expect, either to the upside or the downside. So when we see a squeeze like this happening, expect a strong move following a breakout. So right now, price is at the trendline resistance and the 200 simple moving average. So despite a strong bullish month so far, we still need to wait for confirmation. So by waiting for move above this trend line, a pullback, a second breakout above a previous high, then we should see strong moves for Ethereum. If we see a failed attempt at breaking out here, we may start to see a decline below support, or we may just continue to see consolidation until price comes into the end of the squeeze. So Bitcoin and Ethereum are looking like potentials. If they do break out, then the rest of the crypto market is likely to trend. But as for now, price has hit resistance, and we may see failure. We may see another decline in Bitcoin, or just a long-term area of consolidation. So that's it. I'm just going to have another look at the chat. It's a quiet morning. Let's just have a look and see if there's any messages in the chat right now. So no messages. So hope you all enjoyed that analysis of Bitcoin. Yes, we are seeing some strong moves, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we are ready to take positions. We still need to wait for confirmation. And remember, when you are an investor, there are three positions: either going long, going short, or standing aside. Standing aside is very profitable because when you stand aside, you avoid entering positions when you shouldn't and avoid giving profit back to the market. You want to stand, you don't want to be starting with negative once the trends start. You want to be at a level playing field so that you can go straight into profit once the trends start to come into play. So we do cover, as well as the crypto market, we do cover Forex and stocks. If you look at our channel, I have covered a few videos on the US dollar, Japanese yen, and the dollar index, because those markets are performing really well. And mainly so the stock market, because we tend to see trends in stocks throughout the year. Even when the S&P is bearish, we tend to see stocks moving to the upside. So those will be the outliers. So do follow our channel, because we will be covering the highest probability opportunities in all of those markets. Okay, I'm going to end the stream here. Thank you all for showing up, and it'd be nice if you do come across a replay. Feel free to type in any messages there, and I will be getting back to your messages. And join our Telegram group, where you can find live updates on the markets at all times. So join our Telegram group. You can find a link below the video or in our profile, and I will see you all on the next live stream.